In today's Know Your Rights segment, we want to take a look at workers' compensation, but with a twist. We're also talking about attendant care. Catherine Stone from Barbas Law is back to talk about this. Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Good. Always a pleasure to be here.
Well, you're always breaking down these things that I didn't even know existed and didn't even know they were an option, if you will. And this falls under that category for me.
Well, workers' compensation, when someone's been injured on the job, it really can affect every aspect of your life, and particularly those that have had severe injuries. Either they're paralyzed or maybe they've had surgery or are going to have surgery. It affects every single thing they do. And for some of these individuals, they can't bathe themselves, they can't clothe themselves, they can't cook for themselves. And so we call that needing attendant care under the workers' compensation system.
Okay.
And the law changed in 2003. So anyone with an accident date prior to 2003, we were able to go back, and if a family member or a loved one or a friend had been providing that attendant care for someone and not getting paid for it by workers' compensation, then we could retroactively go back and tell the carrier, you need to pay X, Y, and Z months at however many hours per day that this person was providing, and we could get retroactive attendant care payments for the non-professional people providing attendant care. And this is if the employer hadn't provided a professional attendant. Now, some individuals do get professional attendant care. Now, as of 2003, any accident after October 1st of 2003, the individual or the injured person must have the referral or script from the doctor or the medical provider specifically outlining exactly how much attendant care is required, specifically the duties of the attendant care. So it wasn't enough just for a doctor to say, this person needs attendant care, or well, the carrier should, or you can't be by yourself for 24 hours.
Okay.
That's not enough. And so what I do is I tell clients, look, you know you're about to go in for surgery. You know you're about to be, you need someone to stay with you for 24 hours after the surgery. You may not want a professional attendant nurse to come in and take care of you. You may prefer a family member to do that. Some people don't have family members or friends, so they get the professional attendant care. Depending on the level. Now, if it's obviously a nurse has to come in because certain things have to be done, then you just have to deal with it. But I tell clients, look, you've got to specifically get to the doctor to say how many hours, specifically what job duties they need that person to perform, and what job duties you can't perform yourself and need help with. Because if you don't, there's no going back. There's no going back because sister came in town and took care of me for a week and had to, lose money at her own job. There's none of, and then I'm finding out about it a month or two later. So it kind of goes back to what the theme we always talk about. It's best to get, us involved early on so that we can provide that information to you sooner rather than later, so that you're not coming to me after the fact and saying, well, my sister took all this month off to help me and she lost money at her job. Had this been prior to 2003, I probably could have gotten sister some money. But if you come to me now, I can't, unless the doctor had written something and workers' comp didn't provide it.
There are so many things that it really is better to be safe than sorry, have the paperwork, cross the T's, dot the I's, and I know you can help people navigate through those waters. Catherine, thank you so much for coming in and talking about this. Didn't even know this was a thing. So again, appreciate your time. And if you're out there having questions of your own and want to give Catherine a call or any of the fine folks at Barbas, well, 1-800-BARBAS-LAW or go to barbaslaw.com/knowyourrights.